So did Apple make a light? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. So in my last video, we talked a lot about the Atari 800, some really old vintage tech. And I got a lot of comments from it. It seems like a lot of people love talking about the older tech and the older vintage stuff. So I'm an Apple channel and stuff. So I thought, let me make another video, but maybe not so vintage. So let me show you what I came up with here. Now the cool part about this is, using old tech sometimes can be a pain, right? You got to get it all set up. Sometimes it doesn't want to work. You got to find all the drivers. But just having the tech in your room is actually really nice sometimes because, for instance, if you want some stuff for a man cave or you want a kind of a cool conversation piece on your desk or for a studio, it's actually kind of fun to kind of repurpose some older tech into stuff that maybe it wasn't intended for, and it makes you feel comfortable because that's what you grew up with. And again, I'm not going to be going that far back, but it's still nice to have some kind of cool tech in your studio, right, or your man cave. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Now I know you came for the Apple light sitting over there. I'm going to show you how to build that in less than 5 minutes. It's really easy. I'm going to give you the parts and everything. But beyond that, I'm going to go through just a couple little things really quickly before that just to show you some other projects I'm working on. And I think you'll like these as well. And this is going to be about repurposing older tech into kind of cool conversation pieces for your man cave or your studio. Oh yeah, and a quick disclaimer too. When you get this older tech, this is really important. I always find older tech that's basically either broken or it's just a shell of something. You don't want to destroy old tech just to make something that isn't old tech, all right? You don't want to destroy something because there's a lot of hobbyists out there that want to use that old tech. And I'm going to get into what I did here. So don't go out and buy something that works and then destroy it for something else. If it's already broken, number one, and completely broken, but still save the parts. You might want to sell them later to a hobbyist or something that can fix them, but just make something temporarily and it's kind of cool. And I'm going to show you what I did. All right, the first project is right here, and I haven't finished this. This is kind of where I start. This is actually an old, I think it's an old 3.5 disk drive from Apple. It sits on your desk. It used to sit just like this, and you can see it there. It's got the cool Apple logo. I'll show you some close-ups of it. It's that cool Apple logo on front. Anyways, long story short, I bought this. It was broken. Here's the parts over here. So I went online. I figured out how to open this thing up. It's Apple kind of vintage stuff where you need a kind of a special code to get in and open it up. It's crazy. But I got this out, and this is actually broken. This is the disk drive by Sony. But I think someone can fix that, so I'm going to save that. I didn't destroy it. I have it sitting right there, perfect condition. But I got that out. Now I have this shell. So what I want to do in this is what I'm thinking about for this one is I'm going to go ahead and put in some SSDs in here. I'm going to put in like maybe just a spinning drive and then a super fast 3800 megabyte per second Thunderbolt 4 drive in here. And I'm going to have it just sitting on my desk like this with this old Apple disk drive. It opens up perfectly. It's got the place for the power cables in the back. If you open it in front, actually, you can get access to it in front as well. But it's more just going to be sitting on my desk as a external SSD drive or some kind of a device, just kind of a conversation piece, right? When you see something like this doing 3,800 megabytes per second, it's really cool because this is from like the 90s or something. And a lot of people are going to ask questions about it. And it just makes me feel good having it there because that's old. All right, another project I did, this is kind of where I started, is I actually made this. Now, you might think this is a Mac Mini, right? But let me go ahead like this. But you might think, why is that white in the front? Well, I'm going to go ahead, and I don't know if you can actually see this, but it's got a cord coming out the back of it over here. And let's just plug this in. Now, you probably can't see much here, but I'm going to show you right now some pictures of this and take a look at that. So when this is actually in a dark room, you're going to see how this looks. This goes against the wall in my office, and I actually have the lights off when I'm working. I like to work in kind of like a little darker area with some kind of accent lights. And this is perfect. It goes up against the wall, and it puts a lot of light behind it. You can see back here. See this? And it does show blue light through the front. Now, all I did with this, again, is I bought a complete case from, it was on eBay. I got this for like 25 bucks, and it's just a shell. I didn't break anything. And on the back, I just put in a whole bunch of these lights. Take a look at that. And this was my first attempt. I didn't know what I was doing, but it still works fine because this goes up against the wall. Nobody can see the back of it, and it shines the light out towards the wall. And again, you saw the example of it. So I have this sitting on a desk over there when I have the lights off, and it just looks really cool in a man cave or a studio. But something this simple, it cost me maybe 30 bucks total, 25 for this, and 5 bucks for the lights. You can even change the colors and stuff. It's just a kind of a cool project you can work on. But then I thought about, what can I do next? Well, I want to make something that looks more professional for my studio or my office. And then the lights went on, but we'll talk about this right now. All right, so here's the star of the show, and here's some pictures. All right, so how did this project come about? And I'm going to show you how to make this light. It looks awesome. It looks super professional, like it was made by Apple. So I was actually online, and you know my channel. Watch my channel, subscribe. I do a lot of stuff with older Macs, and I was thinking about buying a trash can Mac just to kind of have some content and see how good it is today. It's still way too expensive, and it really is good for a trash can because those Mac Pros are not worth it compared to what they have out today. But long story short, I was looking at it and I came across just a case of it, just the case. And I was thinking about what can I make out of that? I mean, of course I can make a trash can. That's too easy, right? But a light would look really cool. So I went online and I started looking. Now the first one I saw, if you look over here, this thing is actually $89.99. That's Great Britain. So 114 bucks for this thing, for the case only. I'm like, this is insane, right? So I was like, I gotta find it cheaper, and you can. I was looking over, you can find one, here's one for 39 bucks, $10 shipping, so that's about $49. And now the condition matters here, because if you're making a product like this over here, you're gonna need a really pristine product if you want it to look good in a room or something. Obviously this is not for your family room, it's gonna be more for a man cave, obviously, or a studio. Overall though, I did come down and I didn't buy this one, but I mean, I looked again and you can see, here's one for $10, but it does have like a $25 shipping. So the cheapest you can probably pick these up for is around 35 to 40 bucks. They're made out of metal, they're pretty heavy actually, but still, you just wanna make sure there's not tons of scratches on them and stuff like that. This one seems to be okay for this much money. It does have a couple little smudges and stuff, but not too bad, right? Overall, I think that's a good one, but about 35 bucks. All right, so then I was thinking about this. I need a light, right? And I was thinking about how to engineer this so I could mount that thing on the light. And I was thinking about all these complicated ways to do it and everything else. And I said, first, let me just get the light. So I went online, and I'll have the link in the description if you want to get this. You can see I purchased this. It says last purchased in December 28th. So here's the light here, and it's $35.99, and you can see it's called the Adlon floor lamp. I don't know, 35 bucks. It's got really good ratings though. And so I was looking at this, and it has a screw-off top up here. You can see it there. So it does have a whole bunch of other things in here. It's got a whole bunch of different colors. I got the matte black, but it's got, I think, silver if I can find it. There's a gold one there. I can't find the silver one. There is a silver one. I can't find it anywhere, but it's in here somewhere. You get the idea, but there's a couple different examples of that. So I went ahead and I bought that, and I think I actually hit the lottery. I'll tell you why. So when I got it home, I was thinking about the engineering of it, and I noticed one thing. The actual light, you know how these lights work, there's a little screw on it that you screw, and then the glass shade comes off, and it's got like a little screw that screws it on that attaches it to the frame of the light back there. Well, I was fooling around. I grabbed the Mac, you know, the I guess garbage can, trash can Mac, and I looked at it, and it was the perfect size to slip right over that glass shield. And I'll show you some close-ups of how the glass shield is inside the Mac enclosure. You can see it there. So then I was overthinking everything. I slid it right over the glass. I went ahead and I put it right up next to the light, and I twisted it back on, and that's all I had to do. So basically the actual Mac is sitting on top of the glass shade, and then you just screw it on. There's literally no engineering to do at all. You have a nice glass shade on the inside of it, as you can see, and you can put any type of light in here. There's lights like this blue one. I've been able to do red ones, and you can do white. You can do whatever you want. And at night and in different, obviously when there's a lot less light in the room like this, they get really cool. I mean, if you have all the lights off, it just looks really cool because it's got that kind of glow to it. I like these kind of lights that are different colors when I'm working, doing video editing and stuff. But overall, there's no work to it. So really all you need to do is you need to get that light I showed you, get the trash can Mac, just the case only, don't destroy it, and think about selling it later if someone needs it. And then basically you put them together and you're done. For about $70, that light's 35 bucks. You can get one for about 70 bucks. You have one of the most unique lights in the world. Now, I know on Etsy and stuff, I'm going to see this. People are going to be selling them, and I'm going to be kind of upset. Just do me one favor and put a credit to me on it. That's all I ask, right? Because I'm the one that thought of this. I don't think anybody else has, or I haven't seen it yet. But these are kind of cool designs you can do, right? You can always do this kind of stuff and spruce up your man cave, your office, spaces where your wife is going to let you put it, right? Because that's not going in the family room, I can tell you that. Maybe the basement. But in here, this is perfect for it, and it just looks really professional. And at the end of the day, this is good for conversation pieces. I mean, everyone that walks in and sees this thing is like, where did you get that? How did you make that? It's just kind of cool to have stuff like this hard drive that's actually from the 90s that can do just have normal hard drives in it, and it works perfectly for modern tech, but you just kind of repurposed it. Again, I'm keeping this housing. I'm probably going to sell it. If someone can fix it, they can go ahead and use that. I can't use it. I don't want to break it. And at the end of the day, though, you have to watch out for this, because that's the one thing here. You just don't want to use too much old tech for these type of purposes unless you absolutely sell the other parts. All right, let me know if you guys think these are cool videos, all right? So subscribe if you can, and this is what you get with me. I'm not like the normal Apple channels, you can get that. I don't like to super overproduce everything. I just more talk to people. I don't have scripts anywhere really. I just talk off my head and things can go awry if you like that kind of stuff. And I make videos like this. I try to make different videos. Sometimes I even do some PC stuff, but it's mostly Apple. And I also do like some of the inexpensive products as far as tech's concerned, SSD drives, stuff like that, because I like doing different stuff, and I also like to be a little bit different. If I produced everything like everybody else with 10 different people helping me and stuff, I do it all myself, then it wouldn't be me, right? This is what I do, this is what I like. So subscribe if you can. Tell me if you guys like these kind of projects, and I'll maybe show you guys this thing when I'm done with it one day. I'm gonna try to get some stuff stuck in here so I can go ahead and do a ton of backups on this thing. And give me some other ideas. Maybe I'll do them, maybe I won't. But it's kind of cool to kind of fool around in this realm when you've never done it before, and just add some kind of accent pieces in your room. And that's all I had for today. So we'll talk to you guys in a couple days. I make videos, every maybe about 3 days, and we'll talk to you in the near future here. Peace.